Welcome to another Coastin With Quayz coaster review. This is Mark, aka Quayz. Today, I will be reviewing Intimidator 305, now called Project 305, while it goes through a future retheme. For the sake of this video, I will be referring to the coaster by its original name, or I-305. Intimidator 305 is an Intamin Giga coaster located at King's Dominion in Doswell, Virginia. I recently got 4 rides on I-305 at my first visit to the park, including a front row ride, a back row ride, and 2 rides in middle sections of the train. Let's take a quick look at I-305 stats. As I mentioned before, it was manufactured by Intamin. It has a maximum height of 305 feet with a drop of 300 feet. The overall length of the ride is 5,100 feet with a top speed of 90 miles per hour. It has 0 inversions, but it does not need inversions because this ride is crazy. The angle of descent on the drop is 85 degrees and the minimum height requirement is 54 inches. I want to start by talking a little bit about I-305's layout. Immediately, right out of the station, you climb the 305-foot lift hill. When you are climbing the lift hill, the ascent is so steep that it almost feels like you're laying on your back. As you reach the top, you quickly go over the peak and speed down that drop. The airtime that you get going down this first drop is amazing. You are thrown up out of your seat, even with the over-the-shoulder soft vest restraints. The low-to-the-ground right bank turn immediately after the first drop is probably the most insane moment of this coaster. When I-305 was first constructed, the turn stayed low to the ground for the entire duration. Due to discomfort and guests completely blacking out from the forces, King's Dominion had Intamin re-engineer the turn by having it begin climbing the first airtime hill on the ride as it completes the turn. Even with the redone element, this moment is still nuts. On each of my 4 rides, I severely grayed out each time with my vision disappearing around the turn and then returning about halfway up that first airtime hill. It is a super intense moment followed by an awesome moment of airtime. After descending the airtime hill, I-305 barrels through a series of low-to-the-ground, quickly transitioning high-speed turns. The lateral forces that you experience throughout these turns are fast, aggressive, and incredibly thrilling. Before you're able to catch your breath while speeding through each maneuver, you are completely thrown to the other side. I absolutely loved every moment of this part of the coaster. All of the other Giga coasters feature only lap bars, but I did not know how this would be possible with I-305 during this part of the ride. And I was totally thankful to have the over-the-shoulder restraints. They were completely comfortable even during the insanity of this part of the ride. After another banked right turn, you fly up an airtime hill. This hill does feature a trim brake, resulting in the airtime being more floater than ejector, but it is still a great moment of the ride. The ride finishes by supplying you with another short airtime pop and a couple of turns right into the brake run. As I was able to finally catch my breath when entering the brake run, I reflected on my experience and all I could think was, man, that ride was spectacular. I re-rode the ride 3 more times to get a better grasp on what it was like in its different seats. I loved my experience each time, but the back row really did it for me. The first drop in the back row is absolutely awesome. Giga drops are always spectacular. I've ridden Millennium Force, Orion, Fury 325, and now I-305, and each drop is amazing. Giga drops are always fast and sustained, and I-305 delivers in that regard. In the back row, you are pulled down the drop and the speed never stops. The pacing of I-305 is another high point. This ride is truly relentless. From beginning to end, it just never stops. This aspect is a huge strength. Rides like Millennium Force and Orion, although great, have their moments where they are not quite as interesting. This is not the case with I-305. As far as negatives, there is a little bit of a rattle when riding I-305 towards the back, but honestly, it didn't bother me much. As a coaster enthusiast who seeks out the biggest coaster thrills, I absolutely loved this ride. For a guest who is more of a casual rider, I can definitely understand how I-305 could be less of a favorite. It is truly a ride for the hardcore rider. Each time I rode, I did not have to wait at all. Everyone riding was excited to ride, and you could tell that they loved their experience, but because of the intensity of this coaster, it is clear why some other coasters, like Twisted Timbers, may be more popular. For my final score of i305, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. This ride is absolutely spectacular in every way. It's not too long, it's not too short, the length is just right for the intensity, the speed is sustained throughout, and I cannot wait to get back to King's Dominion to ride it again. In fact, this is now my number 2 coaster of all time, falling only behind Fury 325 at Carowinds. With that being said, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, please like and subscribe, and until next time, keep on coasting.